It is marathon weekend in Boston. 2 days of events ahead of Monday's big race, which will be, of course, the first since last year's bombing. Today, marathon runners began picking up their numbers at the city's convention center. While not far away at Boston Common, some 10,000 runners set off on the annual 5K run. The victims of the bombing were remembered by marchers in a solemn 1-mile walk to the marathon finish line at Copley Square. And it was exactly 1 year ago today that Jahar Tsarnaev was captured, ending a 4-day manhunt. We caught up with Dic Donahue, a transit cop injured in a shootout with the bombing suspects. It has now been a year since the 34-year-old transit cop was shot in the leg and gravely wounded. The bullet severed a major artery.
You were in cardiac arrest for 40 minutes.
With not too many drops of blood left in me.
How close did you come to not making it?
I think as pretty close as you can come. The statistic I've heard is that 2% of people who had been in my situation lived. I'm lucky that I have both legs. I'm lucky that I have memory and brain function, and everything works pretty good.
Donahue is working hard at his physical rehabilitation, although nerve damage in his left foot is still producing serious pain.
I'd say I'm doing well. When I say that, my wife always says, "Will you tell them the truth?" But I do have, some lingering pain and some lingering effects of my injuries from last year.
Big fan, but can I get a picture with you?
His life has changed in so many ways in the last year, and not all are painful. He's one of the faces of Boston's recovery, a man about town now, doing things he never dreamed of, like serving as guest conductor for the Boston Pops.
A year later, are you still wrestling with the emotional part of this?
I'm happy that I'm here. I'm happy that, my son has a dad, my parents have a son. I'm more positive and happy with the result of what happened than anything else.
What branch of the military were you in?
I was in the Navy.
He still has no memory of the shootout. In fact, the last thing he does remember was the bombing itself 3 days before. It was only after he woke up in the hospital that his family told him his injuries may have been caused by friendly fire.
The bullet that's still in you may well belong to a law enforcement officer.
That's a possibility.
Does that trouble you?
It doesn't. I was the only one of the good guys that got hurt. And guess what? I'm walking, I'm talking. I'm here today. And the threat was eliminated that night.
If you're collateral damage,
so be it.
The number one goal for the remarkable Officer Donahue is to return to work, which he is hopeful will happen sometime this year.